everybody, and welcome back here to Gatekeeper Media as we continue to bring you coverage of the 2022 OTB Open out at Swenson Park in Stockton, California. Once again, a big thank you to all of you for tuning in, and a special shout out to all of our Patreon supporters who help make all of this coverage possible. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Once again, I am Dustin Mouret, and I'll be bringing you the commentary solo here as we pivot over to some chase card coverage in round 2. And of course, we have a star-studded lineup here. Plenty of consistent top performers from the tour this year and in years past featured on this one. So certainly excited to see how these players are going to attack the course. As you take a look at things, 7 under par from Cody Kirkland is what is leading the field heading into round 2. A couple of players there at 5 and 4 under par. A couple of our players are right there in the mix. Take a look at Ricky Wysocki's bag, of course known for putting the dagger and throwing that heart, but now the Saki Bomb Slammer has become a new staple that's also kind of spreading around the scene. We, of course, have been throwing lots of felons, enforcers, and some rives are probably some of the biggest things to see him throwing out here on some of these big fairways. Then, of course, Calvin Heimburg makes his return from our feature card for our chase card. And, of course, known for throwing those Dracos, Eagles, and Destroyers. Also one of the guys that's repping the new Toro as an approach disc. And we got Drew Gibson, of course, coming in with that open bag from Infinite Disc and EV7, putting the Penrose, and his putting has been phenomenal since making that pivot. Of course, known for that mid-range, he likes to call it. We know it's a buzz. And also throws some various molds from Infinite as well as some Destroyers. And then we got Joel Freeman, also out of Innova, likes to putt and throw the Whale. Also known for his Gators and Chariots is probably some of his most well-known discs that he likes to throw, but also can throw some Destroyers, PD2, things of that nature. And let's get into it. Hole 1, an 842-foot par 4. Just need to make sure you get left right here and avoid that bush line on the right-hand side to make sure you have a clean approach to what is a pretty well-guarded green. Again, we're out on a golf course, but designer definitely chose some tree coverage to make things tough.
Wysocki.
And here comes Ricky Wysocki, and you're going to notice here he is actually sporting a knee injury coming into this event, but still able to play. Of course, he is ranked number 1 right now in the UDisc World Rankings. He is this year's Texas State's and DDO champion. Also had a second at our first major of the year, at Champions Cup. Also came second at the Open at Belton. And that's going to get a little bit caught up there, but does still make it over towards that left-hand side. Might have something.
Calvin Heimburg.
And again, Calvin Heimburg returns to the action here at Gatekeeper Media, ranked 5th in the UDisc World Rankings, a consistent top 10 finisher, often found in the top 5, and of course our Jonesboro champion from earlier this year. And that is a beautiful shot from Calvin Heimburg. Nice penetrating hyzer. Nice and low, stays under the ceiling, gets way up there.
From Santan Valley, Arizona, Drew Gibson.
And here's Drew Gibson, ranked 9th on the UDisc World Rankings. Of course, our LVC champion from earlier this year after that grueling playoff against Gannon Burr. Great way to kick off this year. Also came top 10 at Champions Cup. And now sporting the bucket hat. I think Ricky Wysocki has started a trend with the bucket hat after the win at DDO, I suppose. Puts that one high and wide, but it's getting that carry left. And that should be fantastic.
And completing this foursome from Loveland, Colorado, Joel Freeman.
Joel Freeman also finds himself ranked within the top 15 of the UDisc World Rankings. Had some podium finishes at Waco in the 303 Open, 4th at Texas State, 6th in Jonesboro, and also placed top 15 at Champions Cup. So definitely a consistent performer. And also great placement out of Joel Freeman. Got on that left-hand side of the fairway for the open approach. And, yeah, this is where Ricky's at. Going to have to try to make some magic happen just to recover the par from here. Low ceiling and, again, that bush line Still hasn't quite made it around that yet. Oh, no. And still a lot of work to be done after that. Just a little high. A lot of low ceilings on this course that you have to navigate underneath. And again, you have to wonder how much the knee injury is impacting Ricky on some of these throws. But I tell you what, that is a fantastic shot there from Ricky to get up to the putting green. Really well done. Joel Freeman's flexing one in there. Catches a little bit of cabbage up top, but still gets some great ground action, and that is pristine. Should set him up nicely for a birdie. And just a straight laser beam from Galvin Heimburg. Gets up there near the edge of circle one. Should have a look at birdie. Now we get to Drew Gibson. It's a great looking forehand, a rarity from Gibson, but makes it look great. No! Almost had a chance to go in the bucket for eagle. Here's Calvin just outside circle one, looking for birdie. Just a little low out the hand. I'll have to settle for the 4. This play is the 3rd most difficult hole on the day. 0.34 strokes over par, with just under 20% of the field finding the birdie, but nearly 40% of the field finding bogey or worse. Freeman will join the birdie club with that one. Really well played hole there from Joel through and through. Same here for Drew Gibson. Some drop-in pars here for Ricky and Calvin. Now we get to hole number 2, a 399-foot par 3. One of the easier holes on the course with several different options to approach the pin. A couple of trees do guard the green that you have to navigate around, but all in all, kind of a dealer's choice hole. Whether you want to go high spike hyzer or low penetrating hyzer like this one from Drew.
Yeah, Drew. Nice shot.
And yeah, that's another beautiful shot from Gibson. Puts him right near the bullseye for birdie. Joel going for a bit of a higher hyzer line.
Oh, man,
Looks like he let go of that one a little early. There is also kind of a flex forehand line off the tee that you'll see some forehand dominant players take, but this hyzer out wide right. If you can just get it over that stump you see center of the screen and get it swinging left after that, usually sets you up nice, as you see there from Ricky. Right next to the koozie. Let's take a look at Ricky's form here. Definitely one of the best distance throwers out there. Always fun to watch him throw. See how Calvin wants to attack this. Taking more of an inside route there. Maybe let go of that a little bit earlier than he wanted to, but still has a look at the pin. Good scramble there from Freeman to at least salvage par. As you can see, the wind is still present today, but not nearly as severe as it was on the opening day, so it made scoring little more realistic. What has been playing is a pretty tough course. No one hit double digits on the opening day. Here's Gibson for birdie. That'll do. Calvin settling for the par, and Ricky with the drop-in birdie. So now we get to hole 3, an absolute behemoth of a par 5 at just under 1,200 feet. Have a little bit of a tunnel you have to get through off the tee. Getting out to the wide right is certainly the most open spot to be to set up your next big shot. There are a couple of OB bunkers you have to worry about along the left-hand side of the fairway. But really, this is just a marathon of a hole. And that's a great shot from Drew Gibson. That's what you'll often see players try to do, is just get something high, turning right, and out into the open. Set yourself up for your second shot. Every now and then you'll see someone get really aggressive and try to throw the roller here, but and that's a very high turnover from Ricky. Might get caught up in these trees. Not quite sure where he ended up. Definitely got to challenge that low ceiling. That's a good looking shot as well from Joel Freeman. Gets himself out to the open.
Thank you.
All you can really ask for. As again, this was a brand new redesign of the course from last year, so not much has remained the same from the previous OTB Open. A couple of holes you'll recognize, but the vast majority is brand spanking new and not a whole lot of coverage out there of it just yet. As we get to Ricky, looks like he still has an open look, just has a lot of ground to cover. He goes for the big roller to try to make up that ground. That thing is zooming. Kind of cuts out severely at the end, but makes some progress up there. There is some OB left you do have to worry about as well as those OB bunkers, but Freeman trying to lay down a roller as well here. He gets caught up on that gate on the OB left fence, but still in bounds, of course. Gibson also thinking roller. Bounces over the log, but does catch a tree right near the catch cam. Everyone going roller on the second shot. Not a bad option, honestly, with the low ceiling and how long this hole really is. So Calvins will cut out there near the center of the fairway. This is Ricky throwing 3, trying to get up and down for a potential birdie look. What a beautiful shot. Gets a great skip forward right there near the edge of circle 1. That was an absolute beauty from Ricky. No doubt about it. Now Freeman a little bit pinched off here on this left-hand side. Trying to throw a big sweeping hyzer. And had a good line, but just didn't really get forward enough due to how pinched off he was over there. It's like maybe some tricky footing here for Drew Gibson. But a beautiful shot nonetheless. Right near the bullseye. Should be able to get the birdie, no problem now. So we make our way over to Calvin Heimburg, who got way on down there with the roller. And that is well done. So several birdie looks here on hole number 3. So it was 6th in difficulty, playing just under 0.2 strokes over par. Only 15% of the field finding the birdie. And just a low putt there from Ricky. Not sure if a bit of a tough wind read or something, but definitely left that one well short. Clean putt, though, from Gibson. It's 3 in a row to kick off the round. A little bit of a gobbler to get things going. Call it a turkey, too, whichever you prefer. Try to spice things up where I can, as we see Freeman take the par. Great played hole there from Calvin Heimburg as well. Ricky had to settle for the par. We'll be back after a short break. Let's get back to it here. We on hole 4, a par 4 at 831 feet. Pretty open fairway, though there are a couple of tree lines that cut in diagonally as you make progress up, and a couple of trees do guard the green. Getting left off the tee, certainly ideal. Either left or dead center of the fairway is great. If you're off to the right too much, you are very pinched off. Big sky Annie shot here from Drew Gibson. That's an option we've seen several power throwers take on this hole. Calvin Heimburg, no exception to the rule. Looking to take that big turnover as well. Skates on up there. Really not too much trouble to be found on this hole unless you just get really far right. This is a great shot from Freeman, it looks like. Panning out nicely at the end of the flight and getting way on up there away from that tree line. Got the roller coming out here from Ricky. Makes it out. Curls around the center, nice. So we got Ricky first to act. Punches it through a pretty small gap there. It skips up to the putting green. Don't know if that was the intended path, but gets him a great result. Now make his way up over to Calvin. Trying to swing the wide hyzer outright where there's the most airspace. Yeah, I think he'll be pretty happy with that. This is that tree line to the right that can cause problems if you get too far on this side of the fairway. But definitely still some gaps that you can get through. Just means you have to challenge a bit of a low ceiling. No problem, though, for Drew Gibson. Great forehand approach here from Freeman will put him up there as well. So we might be seeing everyone take a score here, as this did play 0.11 strokes under par. It's one of the first times we've had a hole play under par for the tournament. Great putt there from Ricky, just outside circle one. We'll definitely rewind that one back. Getting those daggers dialed in. Now he's 2 for 4 to open this round, keeping him in the tie in the top 5. Gibson looking to go 4 in a row. And he will do it. Quite the hot start to the round here from Drew Gibson, as he's tied for second at this point. Shot there from Freeman. All of our players doing what they need to do to stay in the running here on these first 4 holes. Now we get to hole 5, just over 1,000 feet. Another big par 5 here on the course, but pretty wide open, honestly. Really no OB comes into play. There are a couple of tree lines you have to contend with, but there's also some big gaps out there to attack this one. So the biggest trick is probably the sloped green with the tree guarding the front side of the basket. So that does mean that your final approach has to be a bit calculated. Just on a rope, though, is Drew Gibson. What a beautiful shot. Right at the end, kind of gets hung up behind a tree, so might have some tricky situations out in front of him, but still a great tee shot nonetheless. Oh, catches that wide tree, but still makes some pretty good progress up the fairway and gets bounced to the center. With this being a slightly shorter par 5 compared to the previous par 5 on the course, gives you a little bit of margin for error. And that's just low from Joel Freeman. Still gets some good little low forward skips, though. But certainly not getting as much progress as he was hoping for. See what he's got. Rookie looking to go roller off the tee. Definitely caught a big branch there on the left-hand side, and that definitely knocked him off course. So he will be first to act on the second shot. Perhaps looking to go roller a second time. Oh. He's going to get over to the right-hand side of the fairway, near one of the catch cams, so not sure what he's going to be left with, but something he kind of had to do after getting knocked so off course off the tee. He still want to attack the hole. Big air shot here from Joel Freeman. Gets on up there. Should be able to approach still for his birdie, no problem. And that's just a little too turned over. played as the easiest hole in round 1. 0.17 strokes under par. Today played even better, 0.38 strokes under par. Over half the field finding the birdie.
That looks not too bad.
And that is crushed. I don't believe that's OB or anything like that. I think that's just a spectator line or something. It's really the only OB is kind of deep of the basket that you really have to worry about. Good little forehand there for Calvin. Puts him in the circle. Great spiking forehand there from Joel Freeman. Absolutely parks the pin. Stress-free birdie ahead there for Joel. Oh, he gives that a little run. Sure, just kind of floats one up there. Calvin for birdie. Just a little low again. He's had a couple of those. I actually want to give a shout out here to Anthony Barella, who took the eagle on this hole with only a 16-foot putt to do it. So he absolutely crushed this thing with a couple of drives. He was the only eagle on the day and probably the only eagle in the tournament thus far. Drew Gibson certainly had a slight look at eagle, but we'll just drop in a very stress-free birdie. We move on to hole 6. This is one of the holes that's remained pretty much the same, though it might be a different hole number. Not quite sure. But 364-foot par 3, guarded green with these 3 trees. Water out to the right, and there is some OB golf green bunkers kind of along the left-hand side of the fairway. That needs to fight out. And while it tried to, that tall grass still snags it up, and so that will be an OB. Yeah, the forehand out left is certainly a popular option. Kind of keeps you away from that water. Just got to make sure you get the angle right to stay away from the OB green bunker and make sure you get enough ground action to get back to the pin. Well, getting up near there. Likely going to be a very scary putt, though. Kind of a death putt from that side of the green. Calvin goes straight at it with the fairway driver, where that looks a little turned over. Yeah, that's going to find the OB. Ricky looking to go the forehand route. Oh, just gets caught on a branch before it can keep on going. So no one really gives himself a chance on this one, as Drew Gibson is looking to salvage a bogey out of the situation. Just kind of played middle of the pack in difficulty on the day. 0.08 strokes over par, with still near 30% of the field finding the birdie. But certainly a lot of pars and bogeys are worse out there with that OB. Wysocki will just kind of pitch one up there to take a par. Oh! And Freeman was kind of just giving that a safe little floaty bid. Didn't want to challenge that OB on the backside, but wanted to still give it a chance and hit the top band, but hops down for par. So Calvin will be carded in the bogey. Gibson will follow suit after going 5 for 5 to kick off the round. We got a couple of pars being dropped in here as well. So we start to near our front 9. Now, I'll ask the viewers a question here. What's your go-to putter? What do you like to send out there? Let me know in the comments below. I'm asking because I need recommendations because my putting game is it's struggling right now. I'm just kidding. I can't ever let go of my fears. So the pokies will get connected, and we'll be back after a short break. Here we get to hole number 7, an 832-foot par 4. Several different OB bunkers exist. You kind of have a couple of different options. You can kind of play this left-hand side of the fairway to take a more direct route to the pin. But if you get wide right, there is still kind of a backdoor route you can take with a pretty open right-hand side fairway. Freeman just kind of punch one up the middle. Whoa. There's nothing wrong with that.
What was that?
Again, kind of a consistent theme throughout this course is these low ceilings. You have to try to fight underneath. That's a great looking shot though from Ricky Wysocki. Kind of gets caught on a tree at the end. Doesn't really get that forward skip that you'd hope for, but still not too shabby. That one gets caught up on that low ceiling, but still makes a lot of progress first and kind of rolls out into the open. Good shot there as well from Calvin Heimburg. Out to that left open side of the fairway. As you can see, Ricky still has a little bit of a low ceiling to contend with here on his second shot to try to get up and down. And that one kind of just got gobbled up. Gonna have to settle for par on this one. See if Calvin can get up there. Trying to play a wider hyzer up to the pin, but gets caught on one of those trees in the center of the fairway. Joel trying to fight through that, but gonna get caught up to the left-hand side. Avoids, any OB hazard or bunker that's up there, but still going to have to settle for par on this one, it looks like. Drew's kind of the last hope to score on this hole after our other competitors kind of got caught up. And, well, I think he'll be dropping that one in for a birdie, getting back to scoring ways after the bogey on 6. Keeping that score building nicely. This also kind of played in the middle of the pack as far as difficulty goes. 0.11 strokes over par. The new slammer getting used there by Ricky to approach the green. Trying to set himself up for a par putt. Just a jump putt approach there from Freeman to get on the green for his par. Oh! Not sure what happened there. Like it just kind of hit the pole and bounced out. That or just maybe catching that left-hand side, but that's an unfortunate bogey for Ricky. Looked pretty darn close. Pretty stress-free par there for Freeman after a great approach. Calvin 2 will find the par. Drew Gibson, though, playing this hole to pretty much perfection, will find himself another score here on the front nine. And now we get to hole 8, and this is a tricky one. Off the tee, it's nothing to really worry about too much, but as you get onto the actual fairway, it gets more and more narrow and a big water carry to approach the green. Lots of OB left and right as you get about midway up the fairway. There's also some OB that you can kind of get caught on early off the tee if you push a little too straight or too far to the right. That is a beautiful shot from Drew Gibson over the OB and into the dead center of the fairway. That is pretty much the vapor trail that you'd want to follow, as Philo Brathwaite would say. That's a good-looking shot there from Joel Freeman. That'll get up there as well. A little bit different route, but pretty much the same results as Gibson. Definitely going to be able to attack the green from there. And I mean, our card right now is just attacking this hole with surgical precision. Everybody in great position thus far. See if Ricky can follow suit here. And yeah, I mean, what a great performance from our chase card here on this hole. Just everyone getting great tee shots. And Freeman will have the approach to match. Really well done. No problem on the water carry. Right there for birdie. Gibson has an even more open look over the tall reeds here. Yeah, that'll do nicely. I don't know, whatever other country themes you want to throw out there. So we are going to see Calvin Heimburg throw a great shot up there to the green. Maybe some trout lines. Moonshine, I don't know. So we are going to see Ricky also throw a forehand. He gets a little bit more ground action than he wanted, but still should have a look at the birdie from over there. And yeah, that one will stick. That'll do nicely. And there's Freeman. Connecting on his birdie. It looks like everyone's probably going to get the score here. Kind of played a little bit more than middle of the pack in difficulty. 11th. 0.04 strokes under par with 36% of the field finding the birdie. Looks like we might be seeing 100% here on the chase card. And there you go. That'll do it for hole number 8. Perfection from our cart. As we head over to perhaps one of the most iconic holes on the course and untouched from last year, 435-foot par 3. Dangerous water all along the left-hand side of the fairway. If you're not close to this pin off the tee, it is a death putt for sure. You can see players attack this with likely some type of overstable flex backhand. Try to push it to the right-hand side and then have it come in at the end is a good option for most right-handed backhand players.
Wow.
And that'll do.
Great shot, Drew.
What a shot. As Drew Gibson just never really looks like he's putting too much effort into his throw. He's so compact. He's so just steady and patient, I guess you could say, as he takes his X step. But just generates so much power with just such great timing. Definitely one of the best backhand forms you're going to see on tour. One to really learn from. Joel Freeman has a similar philosophy with throwing something very overstable out wide right. And really, the wider right you push something, the safer it's going to be, but the more difficult actually getting the birdie becomes. Certainly gives you a more stress-free par opportunity if you're not feeling it. As Calvin kind of goes straight at it, but he's getting some good turn out of the disc and skates up there nicely. Just around the edge of the circle, it looks like, but still a scary putt. That one was a little too turned over to attack the pin directly. Leaves him a very lengthy and very scary putt. Still trying to give it a little floaty bid, though. But still, safely done. Calculated, will rest for the par. Let's see what Calvin wants to do here. Oh, look dead on, just maybe a little low. Catches the top of the basket. Freeman trying to give it a safe floaty bid as well. Catches the top band, will have to settle for par. Here's Gibson, though. Beautiful shot off the tee. Right there in front of him is the birdie. He is going to go 7 down through the front 9. Ending with the turkey. Started going 5 for 5. Had that one bogey on hole 6. See the rest of the card tapping in their pars and putting a conclusion to their front 9s here in round number 2 from the chase card. We'll start to take a look here at how things are shaking down on the leaderboard. As you can see, Drew Gibson, plenty of birdies on this front line. Just that one blemish on hole 6, but in second place, playing really well. Of course, the rest of the card also still very much in the hunt. If you take a look at the leaderboard here, Simon Lizotte continuing to have a pretty good season despite the late start. Put himself up there at the top, right above Drew Gibson by a stroke. A couple other big names still very much in the mix. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning into this coverage. And a special thank you to our Patreon supporters who help make all this coverage possible. Be sure to follow and subscribe as we're going to be bringing you more coverage from the OTB Open throughout the weekend. And of course, we'll have more Elite Series action on the Disc Golf Pro Tour here, as well as some other events sprinkled in throughout the rest of the year. So you'll be sure to subscribe so you can catch all of that. Also, if you enjoyed the commentary and you want to give me a follow, I'm Follow Dust on Instagram and Twitter, as well as Dust Disc on YouTube. And I'll see you here shortly on the Back Nine. Stay tuned.